Have you ever taken a moment to reflect on how to become the best version of yourself in relationships? This is a question many ponder because, deep down, we all seek affection, respect, and to be genuinely valued by those around us. But how do we attain this? How do we earn true admiration, not just for superficial traits or achievements, but for who we are at our essence? Subscribe to the channel, like, share and comment on the video so that you get much more out of it. Now imagine each relationship as an expedition, with you as the explorer of your own self. Your goal is to uncover the hidden gems within you and share them with others. To do that, you need a roadmap that leads to understanding, connection, and ultimately love. Today, I'll help you discover your true worth in a relationship, guided by 9 timeless Stoic lessons. Pay close attention, this isn't just typical advice you often hear, it's about empowering yourself in ways you might not have considered. Prepare to illuminate the secrets of building a life rich in love and meaningful connections, founded on mutual respect and inner strength. Now, let's dive in. Lesson 1: Recognizing your true value. How does Stoicism tie into recognizing your worth in relationships? Stoics emphasized focusing on what we can control, and your self-worth is completely within your reach. It doesn't hinge on social media likes or whether someone is attracted to you, it's about how you perceive and appreciate yourself. Visualize yourself as a rare gemstone. Not everyone recognizes the value of such a gem. Some may overlook it without realizing its significance, but that doesn't reduce its worth. Just like that gem, your value doesn't diminish because someone fails to notice it. Let's be real, we've all faced rejection and feelings of inadequacy, especially in a world where it seems everyone is thriving. But with a Stoic mindset, your worth isn't contingent on external validation, it's rooted in how you carry yourself. Your principles and actions: are you kind? Are you honest? Do you live in a way that aligns with your values? That's where your true worth lies. Stoics valued self-reflection, so take a moment to think about your qualities, not just the obvious ones, but the deeper traits. What truly defines you? You'll discover strength. In relationships, it's about drawing strength from your own value and self-worth, regardless of whether others recognize it. Always remember that understanding your worth is an ongoing journey, evolving over time. Each day, remind yourself that you have value, not based on others' opinions, but because of the intrinsic qualities that make you unique. Lesson 2: Present yourself with honor. Now, before you imagine a Stoic as a stern figure from history, let's clarify, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or being indifferent. It's about discerning where to invest your energy. And how you present yourself is worth that energy. Let's explore what it means to present yourself with honor in relationships. Have you noticed how sometimes we go to great lengths to impress others, only to lose sight of who we really are? We might alter our appearance or behavior in hopes of gaining approval. However, your self-respect isn't tied to your style or the trendy places you visit, it's about how you carry yourself and the choices you make. Imagine you're in a classroom watching 2 students present. One is flashy, using grand gestures to impress, while the other is composed and speaks confidently without pretense. Which student leaves a lasting impression? It's usually the one who is genuine and comfortable in their own skin. This illustrates the importance of presenting oneself with honor. The Stoics, known for their self-control and virtue, stressed the value of living authentically and respecting oneself. So, how does this apply to dating today? It's simple: be true to yourself. If you love reading, embrace it. If you're passionate about something, let it shine. It's not about pretending to be someone else, it's about feeling confident in who you are and recognizing your inherent value. Another key point is treating yourself with respect. How you treat yourself sets the standard for how others treat you. If you constantly criticize yourself, you're implying that it's acceptable for others to do the same. However, when you respect yourself and value your time, energy, and feelings, you make a strong statement: I deserve respect, and I expect to be treated accordingly. Consider what Epictetus, a wise Stoic philosopher, said: it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. In relationships, it's not just about appearance or words, it's about your reactions and demeanor. Are you responding with desperation or dignity? Are you compromising your principles to fit in, or are you remaining true to yourself, even if it means standing alone? This doesn't require perfection, we're all human, with our flaws and awkward moments. What matters is how we handle those situations. Do you break down under pressure, or do you stay resilient, learn, and move forward? Let's reflect on how we can begin to show ourselves more dignity. It might involve setting clear boundaries or declining things that don't align with our values. It could also mean treating ourselves with greater kindness and respect. When you recognize your worth, others will see it too. Lesson 3: The power of nonverbal communication. I understand if this sounds a bit traditional or rigid at first, but please hear me out. It's not about being unapproachable, it's about honoring yourself and acknowledging your worth. So, what does Stoicism say about this? It teaches us self-control and strength, but in a way that is not dull or uninviting. It's about understanding what truly matters and not giving it away too freely. In a world where we seek instant gratification and endless scrolling, Stoicism feels refreshing. In relationships or while getting to know someone, there's often a rush to share everything, our time, our personal space, our deepest thoughts. But Stoics would advise taking a step back. Why? Because when something is always accessible, it loses its charm. If you're always available, always saying yes, where's the excitement, the intrigue, the anticipation? Let's discuss how to gracefully set boundaries the Stoic way. First, it begins with your appearance. Dressing in a stylish yet modest way is about more than looks, it conveys a message. It says, I respect myself. You're not hiding yourself, but you're also not revealing everything at once. It's about finding balance and expressing that there's more to you than meets the eye. Another important aspect is managing your time and focus. In a hyper-connected world, being selective about who receives your time is essential. It's not about playing games, it's about valuing your time and using it wisely. When you're with someone, be fully engaged. When you're not, it's okay to be unavailable. Dedicate your energy to your own life, interests, and personal growth. Stoicism also emphasizes emotional self-mastery. It doesn't advocate for being cold or distant, instead, it promotes maintaining a balanced viewpoint. This means not letting minor issues deeply disturb you. It's about preserving your peace and composure. You don't freely give your emotional energy to everyone, it should be earned, just as you selectively allocate your time and attention. I'm not suggesting you should become unfeeling or detached. We're all human, and genuine connections are vital for a fulfilling life. However, there's something meaningful about taking things slowly, about forming relationships that aren't based solely on instant satisfaction. It's about building connections that have depth and longevity, going beyond quick fixes and immediate gratification. Setting limits isn't about manipulation or control. It's about respecting yourself and adhering to your principles. It's about showing, through both words and actions, that you value yourself and deserve to be treated with respect. Here's to being more discerning, composed, and stoic in our approach to relationships. It's about finding a balance between openness and discernment, between sharing and reserving a part of yourself. This greatly influences how others perceive and treat you. Here's to valuing ourselves and incorporating a touch of Stoicism into today's dating landscape. Lesson 4: Be prepared to walk away. In Stoicism, there's a profound idea about letting go, not in an indifferent way, but in recognizing what we can change and what we cannot. One of the most empowering choices we can make is deciding whether to stay in or walk away from a situation that doesn't serve our well-being. This is especially important in relationships. We've all been there, haven't we? In situations where we know we deserve better, yet we choose to stay. It could stem from a fear of loneliness, fear of change, or simply holding on to hope for improvement. But this is where Stoicism shines. true strength comes from understanding that we can choose to stay or leave situations that contradict our principles, and we can choose a different path. This doesn't mean you should give up the moment things get tough. Relationships require effort, understanding, and patience. However, it's vital to grasp your self-worth and values deeply enough that when something fundamentally clashes with them, you're ready to move on. It's about having that inner resilience, that stoic courage, to assert, I respect myself too much to settle for anything less than I deserve. Let's explore this concept further. Being ready to exit a situation is about valuing yourself. It means adhering to your beliefs and recognizing your worth. It doesn't always have to be a dramatic departure, sometimes it's a quiet decision, a calm realization that this isn't right for you. Yes, it can be intimidating, the uncertainty of the future can be daunting. But think of our Stoic friends, they taught us the importance of facing challenges bravely and accepting life's unpredictability. Understanding that sometimes the bravest act is to let go of something that doesn't align with your path can be transformative. When you're in a relationship and realize you're there because it reflects your values, not out of fear of leaving, it changes the entire dynamic. You're not staying out of desperation, you're staying because it's your authentic choice. Here's the crucial point, when you courageously step away from what doesn't serve you, you create room for what does. It's like clearing away the old to make space for the new. It's about believing that better things await you and allowing yourself the chance to find them. Let's remember that being ready to move on isn't about being cold or indifferent, it's about valuing and caring for ourselves enough to declare, I deserve something better. It's about embodying stoicism when faced with challenges, recognizing that our worth isn't dependent on anyone or anything else. Lesson 5, Establishing Boundaries. Stoicism underscores the significance of actions over mere words. The Stoics championed demonstrating beliefs rather than just voicing them, particularly when it comes to setting boundaries in relationships. Talking about your boundaries is one thing, but it's far more impactful to embody them through your actions. In a world where personal boundaries often get overlooked, the ability to assert and maintain them is essential for both self-respect and healthy relationships. While it's easy to claim that one won't tolerate mistreatment, the real challenge arises when faced with difficult situations. In these moments, true strength is revealed not through our words but through our actions. This piece will explore the philosophy of Stoicism, the importance of setting boundaries, and the art of maintaining them in the face of adversity. Understanding boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define where one person ends and another begins. They are essential for protecting our emotional, physical, and mental well-being. Setting boundaries allows individuals to express their needs, establish their values, and ensure that they are treated with respect. But what does it really mean to have a boundary, and why is it so crucial? Types of boundaries. 1. Emotional boundaries. Emotional boundaries are vital in defining how we allow others to influence our feelings and mental well-being. These boundaries dictate what we share emotionally and how we engage with the emotions of others. Definition and importance. Emotional boundaries help protect our self-esteem and emotional health. They enable us to separate our feelings from those of others, preventing emotional enmeshment. For example, if a friend is upset, having emotional boundaries means we can empathize without absorbing their emotions as our own. How to establish them. To create emotional boundaries, reflect on your feelings and identify situations that trigger emotional distress. Communicating your limits to others, such as expressing that you need time alone after a stressful day, is essential. This clarity helps others understand how to interact with you in a way that respects your emotional space. Practical applications. In practice, emotional boundaries can involve saying no to conversations that drain you, avoiding people who consistently bring negativity, or choosing not to share every detail of your life with others. Establishing these boundaries nurtures your emotional well-being and fosters healthier relationships. 2. Physical boundaries. Physical boundaries are about personal space and physical touch. They define what is acceptable in terms of interaction and can vary significantly from person to person. Definition and importance. physical boundaries protect our physical autonomy and comfort. They can encompass everything from how close someone can stand to us to what types of physical affection we are comfortable with, such as hugs or handshakes. How to establish them? Setting physical boundaries requires self-awareness. Assess your comfort levels regarding personal space and touch. Communicating these limits to others is key. For example, you might express discomfort with close physical proximity or unwanted touch. Practical applications. In everyday situations, physical boundaries might mean asking someone not to sit too close on a couch or declining a hug from someone you don't know well. Upholding these boundaries reinforces your comfort and autonomy in social interactions. 3. Time boundaries. Time boundaries pertain to how we allocate our time and energy. Setting limits on how much time we dedicate to others ensures we have space for our own needs. Definition and importance. Time boundaries are crucial for effective self-care. They help us prioritize our responsibilities and leisure, preventing feelings of being overwhelmed or taken for granted. How to establish them? To establish time boundaries, it's essential to recognize your own limits regarding how much time you can dedicate to others. This may involve scheduling personal time, setting specific hours for work or socializing, and saying no to last-minute requests that infringe on your personal time. Practical applications. For instance, if you find yourself frequently canceling plans to accommodate others, it may be time to reevaluate your commitments. Clearly communicating your availability, like stating that you're busy after a certain hour, helps others respect your time. 4. Material boundaries. Material boundaries involve our belongings, finances, and the extent to which we share these with others. They play a critical role in maintaining balance and respect in relationships. Definition and importance. Material boundaries protect our possessions and financial resources. They clarify what we're comfortable sharing or lending, which helps prevent feelings of resentment or exploitation. How to establish them? To set material boundaries, consider what items or financial aspects you are willing to share and what you want to keep private. Communicating these limits can be challenging but is essential for fostering mutual respect. Practical applications. This might mean politely refusing to lend money to a friend who frequently asks or setting limits on how often you allow others to borrow your belongings. Establishing these boundaries reinforces your right to personal property and financial autonomy. The importance of boundaries. 1. Vital for self-care. Boundaries are integral to self-care, allowing individuals to prioritize their own needs without guilt. When we establish clear boundaries, we create a framework that empowers us to say no when necessary, ensuring that we can maintain our well-being. Empowerment and autonomy. By setting limits, we affirm our right to control our lives and decisions. This empowerment fosters a sense of autonomy, enhancing our confidence in various aspects of life. 2. Fostering respect in relationships. Boundaries foster respect by clearly communicating our limits and expectations. They help others understand what is acceptable and what is not, creating a foundation of mutual respect. Mutual understanding. When boundaries are respected, relationships can thrive on a deeper level. Both parties are aware of each other's limits, reducing misunderstandings and fostering a healthy dynamic. 3. Promoting healthy communication. Effective communication is crucial for healthy relationships, and boundaries play a key role in facilitating this. By articulating our needs and limits, we encourage open dialogue rather than harboring resentment. Encouraging open dialogue. When we express our boundaries, we invite others to share theirs as well. This exchange creates a culture of openness, where both parties feel heard and respected. The challenge of upholding boundaries. While establishing boundaries is an important step, the real challenge arises when those boundaries are tested. It's easy to express our limits, but what happens when someone challenges them? 1. The emotional toll. Facing mistreatment or boundary violations can be emotionally draining. It often triggers feelings of anger, sadness, frustration, or even guilt. Recognizing valid emotions, it's crucial to acknowledge that these emotions are valid and part of the process. By recognizing how we feel, we can respond more effectively and thoughtfully. Emotional processing, taking time to process these emotions is vital. Engaging in self-reflection, journaling, or discussing feelings with a trusted friend can help clarify your emotional state and response. 2. The internal struggle. An internal conflict often arises between our desire for harmony and our need to assert ourselves. We may fear that standing our ground will lead to conflict or rejection. Fear of conflict. This fear can tempt us to compromise our boundaries, leading to feelings of resentment or frustration over time. The role of Stoicism. This is where Stoicism can offer valuable insights. By cultivating a Stoic mindset, we can approach boundary challenges with greater resilience. The Stoic approach to boundaries. Stoicism emphasizes reason, self-control, and virtue, providing a framework for understanding and upholding our boundaries. 1. The power of choice. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our responses. This distinction is vital when dealing with boundary violations. Defining our limits. Our response to someone crossing a boundary defines our limits. It's not merely what we say, our actions reinforce our boundaries. Choosing response over reaction. By choosing our responses thoughtfully, we embody the Stoic principle of responding rather than reacting, leading to healthier interactions. 2. Emotional resilience. Adopting a Stoic mindset helps cultivate emotional resilience. Instead of being swept away by feelings, we can approach situations with logic and clarity. Calm assessment of situations. When faced with boundary violations, we can assess the situation calmly and choose the most appropriate response, whether addressing the issue directly or stepping back to protect our peace of mind. 3. Observing actions over words. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of actions. While someone can say all the right things, their true intentions are revealed through their behavior. Evaluating trustworthiness. By focusing on actions, we can better assess whether someone respects our boundaries and whether they are worthy of our trust. Practicing mindfulness in everyday situations. Everyday moments often serve as the testing grounds for our boundaries. It's not just about major conflicts but also the small interactions that shape our relationships. 1. Responding to changes. When plans change unexpectedly, our reactions can either reinforce our boundaries or undermine them. Practicing mindfulness in these moments allows us to stay true to ourselves. Setting precedents. Instead of brushing off a friend's disregard for your time, calmly expressing that such behavior is unacceptable helps establish clear expectations for future interactions. 2. Embodying Stoicism. Approaching daily challenges with a Stoic mindset encourages us to act in alignment